One of my superpowers is that no matter what happens in my life, I always have an unwavering faith, a trust that everything is going to be okay. Because when you understand that God is always with you, then when you enter into life situations that are challenging, if God is with you, what problem can you not overcome? There are no situations that seem so big, so dramatic that could ever keep you down. I think a lot of people in life are like children playing on a playground. God, our parents, God is standing in the background while we play on the playground of life. But most of us have become blind. We can only see a few inches in front of our face. And so when we fall down, we cry out, but we feel like we're alone because we can't see God that is always standing in the distance watching over us. We think we're alone. We think we have to go through all of these battles by ourselves. We place the burdens of the whole world on top of our little individual ego and wonder why we suffer so much. And maybe I was predestined to be this way. But at some point I thought, why wouldn't you just give all of your burdens to God? Why would you put a single burden upon yourself? And so the moment I gave up my burdens is the moment I became free, that I could have relief from any life situation, any struggle, any difficulty. Because it's not up to me to figure it out. If I want something, if I want to make something happen, all I have to do is say, that is what I want. And then believe it is already mine. Because it is. Now it may not come to me in the way that I expect. But if life happened exactly the way we thought it would, there would be no point to anything. It would be boring. And so if you're going through a difficult life situation, if you're going through struggles, you don't have to place that burden upon yourself to figure it all out. Because it has already been figured out. The problem has already been solved. It's just this world is a bit slow, so it takes some time. And you see, there is nothing good that comes from us worrying about the future or worrying about other people. When we allow the fear in, or any negative emotion, negative feeling, even if we've made a mistake, these things only add fuel to the fire. They only add more negativity onto what could be an already negative situation. So they're useless. And sometimes when people have good hearts, they almost feel guilty for not feeling bad. Because in a way, feeling bad means, okay, yes, I am a good person. A good person would feel bad in this scenario. I would feel guilty. And only a psychopath like me would have the power to tell you that be completely detached from all of your negative emotions. Even if you do something wrong, and you know it's wrong, and you know you made a mistake, you want to understand that it is God who brought you to this place. This is something I learned on one of my journeys to the depths of madness, my psychedelic journeys. I realized at one point that God was the one not only pulling me up and helping me rise to higher states of consciousness, to become better, to be a better person, but God was also the one who was bringing me down, committing me to sin, the one who brought me to hell. That might be controversial for a lot of people, but in this I realized that I was not fully responsible for the things that I've done. It's funny because on my journey, whether you want to say the self-improvement journey or the spiritual journey, I began not taking responsibility for anything. And that was my downfall. That was my crucial mistake. And then self-improvement, well, it tells me to take extreme responsibility for everything. And this was my mindset for a long time. And there is some truth to this still. You still want to realize that our lives are the way we are because the force of creation is being filtered through us. And so whatever information is in here is being projected onto the reality. Our inner reality and the outer reality are one. So in a way, we are responsible for the way things are. But then to come full circle on the spiritual journey, you realize that, oh, well, it was just God doing it the whole time. That any sense of me being an individual being, engaging in all the actions. I heard Alan Watts say it earlier, but the ego is like a child in the passenger seat with their plastic steering wheel. And whenever their parent turns the wheel a certain way, they also turn the wheel. And so they have this illusion that, oh, I'm driving the car. It's quite the difficult idea to tackle. Because on one level, well, we must live a morally righteous life and serve God and be our best and do better. But if God is already doing everything, well, then it kind of throws a wrench in all of that drama, doesn't it? I kind of like looking at it from the perspective of an actor in a movie. The script is already written, but the actor has the freedom to embody that character in any way they like. Perhaps they have some room for improvisation. I guess the point is that God was always in control the whole time, even when there was tragedies and challenges. And I think that we get so caught up focusing on this little life that we have. We get so focused on playing this individual character that we don't see the whole movie. I heard the quote yesterday. It said, "Life, when zoomed in, is a tragedy, but when zoomed out, it's a comedy." I think it's so important to be free from the story, free from the character, because only then does one fully come into their power. Because if I believe so heavily that I am this character, then the moment that bills come in the mail, there's a problem for me. The moment I run out of food to eat, well, there's a problem. The moment somebody does something I don't like, there's a problem. Everywhere from the perspective of this ego, this mind, there is a problem. Life is a problem. But once you become free from the illusion of separation, well, you see that person is not a problem. It is really just God in disguise. Oh, this demon, it's coming after me and everybody I love. Well, no, maybe it's not. Maybe there are no demons. Maybe there are only angels in disguise. Maybe there is only God. I've been seeing this lately where if I see a demon or just an imaginary thought, I no longer see the demon. I only see God. And it immediately dissolves all fear, any authority that the power of darkness might have. Oh no, I'm getting pulled over by the police. Well, maybe it's just God. God is making a cameo in the form of some big truck. You see, from this limited form, when we go through life's challenges, we feel like we're being beat up and destroyed. And I think the beauty of it, which is what I imagine aliens might look at us and appreciate about the human, is that, well, remember that scene in The Matrix where Neo is fighting the, forgot his name, the main bad guy. And the bad guy says, Why do you persist, Mr. Anderson?" And Neo looks up after he gets beat up and he says, "Because I choose." And that is the beautiful thing about humans, is that in spite of the futility of our existence, the temporariness of it all, the fleeting life that we are, in spite of all this tragedy, all of this suffering, we still persist. We still fight. We continue to march forward in the face of absolute evil, with the threat of death and darkness and pain. We choose to keep going. We choose to turn the negativity into positivity, the darkness into light. The beauty of humans is that we are a mess, and we're constantly trying to clean up the mess, often for the sake of the ones we love and the people around us. And at the end of it all, when we awaken to the true nature of ourselves and of reality, what a beautiful gift, like waking up from a nightmare. I mean, what relief. I'm sure you've experienced that. When you're in a dream and things are going so wrong and it feels like the whole world is ending, and then you wake up and you take a sigh of relief and you are free. You are free from that world. And once we awaken, we spend our lives helping to awaken others who are ready, so they no longer have to live in this nightmare. And that is why I'm here for you.